Question number 1. %% of the world population occupies only 30% of land area. The remaining 70% of the land is either sparsely populated or uninhabited.
Right again. 90 is a valid answer.
Question number 2. The process of collecting rainwater from rooftops and directing it to an appropriate location and storing it for future use. Great job! Rainwater harvesting is the accurate answer. Question number 3. Due to indiscriminate killings, several birds and animals have either become extinct or are on the verge of extinction.
Well reasoned. True is the correct choice.
Question number 4. Many countries have passed laws declaring that the trades, as well as the killing of birds and animals, are dash. Valid point. Illegal is true.
Question number 5. 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. It is therefore appropriately called the water planet. It was in the primitive oceans that life began almost dash years back.
Well picked. 3.5 billion years is the correct answer.
Question number 6. 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. Therefore, it is called the dash.
Nice work. You chose water planet, and it is correct. Question number 7. To prevent soil erosion, there are some methods. Name the method mentioned below in the coastal and dry regions. Rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect soil cover.
Well done. Shelter belts is the right choice.
Question number 8. Dash forests are found in the area where it rains throughout the year.
Strong choice. Evergreen forests is the right answer. Question number 9. It takes hundreds of years to make just 1 centimeter of soil.
Good thinking. True is the right answer. Question number 10. The moisture of soil can be retained by the process of dash.
Excellent. Mulching is a brilliant choice.
Question number 11. The rugged dash, steep slopes of the mountain, low-lying areas susceptible to waterlogging, desert areas, thick forest areas are uninhabitable areas.
Smart move. Topography is an accurate answer.
Question number 12. Out of the total fresh water available, nearly dash is in the form of ice and is found in glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland, mountain regions, etc.
Correct response. 2% is the most accurate answer. Question number 13. Series of protected areas linked through a global network, intended to demonstrate the relationship between conservation and development, is called OR.
Great thinking. Biosphere reserve is the right choice. Question number 14. Factors which lead to soil degradation are deforestation, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, rain wash, landslides and floods.
Nicely done. Overgrazing is a solid answer. Question number 15. The percentage of fresh water on Earth is dash.
Bravo, 2.7 is the answer.
Question number 16. Dash is almost an important natural resource.
You're right. Land is the correct answer.
Question number 17. Dash is the process in which the bare ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw to retain soil moisture.
Smart pick. Mulching is the correct choice. Question number 18 dash is the process of collecting rainwater from rooftops and directing it to an appropriate location where it is stored for future use.
Sharp thinking. Rainwater harvesting is the right choice.
Question number 19 dash is the use of land for different purposes like agriculture, forestry, mining, construction of buildings, houses, industries, and road. Nice selection. Land use is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 20. A dripping tap wastes 1,200 liters in a year.
Solid response. True is a valid choice. Question number 21. Give one word. A natural area designated to protect the ecological integrity of one or more ecosystems for present and future generations. Right choice. National Park is the best answer. Question number 22. A dash is any geologic process in which gravity causes rock, soil, artificial fill, or a combination of the three to move down a slope. On track. Landslide is the correct answer. Question number 23. Species of some animals are on the verge of extinction as their population has decreased considerably. Such species are known as dash. Clear logic. Your choice endangered species is sound and 100% true. Question number 24. The breaking up and decay of exposed rocks by temperature changes, frost action, plants, animals, and human activity. Called dash. Perfect. Weathering is the correct choice. Question number 25. Only % of land is habitable. Exactly. 30 makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 26. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rainwash is known as. Excellent choice. Intercropping is the right answer.
Question number 27. Growing population and their ever-growing demands has led to a dash has scale destruction of forest cover and arable land.
Good job. Your answer large works well here.
Question number 28. A land is owned by the community for common uses. Use like collection of fodder, fruits, nuts, or medicinal herbs.
Correct. Both and is the right answer.
Question number 29. The life-supporting system where living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other for survival.
You chose ecosystem, and it is correct.
Question number 30. Vulture, due to its ability to feed on dead livestock, is a scavenger and considered a major threat to humans.
You got it. Your choice false is right. Question number 31. A large areas where vegetation, wildlife and environment are conserved to preserve the biological diversity. Clear logic. Your choice biosphere reserve is sound and 100% true. Question number 32. As the exposed rock break off and start decaying due to temperature change, this process is called dash. Nicely done. Weathering is a solid answer. Question number 33. The uneven distribution of population in the world is due to the varied characteristics of dash. Well done. Land and climate is the right choice. Question number 34. Rows of trees planted in the coastal areas to check the wind movement is called intercropping. On track. False is the correct answer. Question number 35. Rock are piled up to slow down the flow of water. This prevents gullies and further soil loss. Correct response. Contour barriers is the most accurate answer. Question number 36. The social program of planting trees, organized at community level, is called Vamahotsov. Strong choice. True is the right answer. Question number 37. Which one of the following methods is most appropriate to check soil erosion on steep slopes?
You chose terrace cultivation, and it is correct.
Question number 38. Which of the following one factors determines color, texture, chemical properties of soil?
Bravo. Parent rock is the answer.
Question number 39. The major factors of soil formation are the nature of the dash rock and climatic factors.
Right again. Parent is a valid answer.
Question number 40. Which of the following states of India has been witnessing maximum number of landslides? Well picked. Uttarakhand is the correct answer.
Question number 41. Which of the following influence the rate of weathering and humus formation of soils?
Valid point. Climate is true. Question number 42. Dash is the decline in the productive capacity of land for some time or permanently.
Solid response. Land degradation is a valid choice.
Question number 43. The dash, a layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth, is called soil. Excellent choice. Thin is the right answer. Question number 44. Which of these resources covers about 3/4 of the total surface of Earth? Excellent. Water is a brilliant choice. Question number 45. Dash are simply defined as the mass movement of rock, debris or earth down a slope. Good job. Your answer, landslides, works well here. Question number 46. Population and technology are important factors that determine land use pattern. Sharp thinking. True is the right choice. Question number 47. Land used for making house, roads, forestry, mining, &c. dash are called as dash. Exactly. Land use makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 48. Dash results in a sharp decline in the number of particular species of animals. Well reasoned. Poaching is the correct choice. Question number 49. Sliding of huge debris, rocks and other material down the slope is known as dash. Nice selection. Landslide is the correct and valid answer. Question number 50. In which areas landslides have been a major and widely spread natural disaster? Nice work. You chose mountain, and it is correct. Question number 51. Dash is a process in which heavy rains wash away the fertile part of the soil. Perfect. Leaching is the correct choice. Question number 52. Which is the most appropriate method to check soil erosion on steep slopes? Smart move. Terrace farming is an accurate answer. Question number 53. Dash irrigation can be used in dry regions, where evaporation is very high. Great thinking. Drip irrigation is the right choice. Question number 54. Which of the following vegetation is grown in the areas of heavy rainfall? Good thinking. Forests is the right answer. Question number 55. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone called dash. Right choice. Biosphere is the best answer. Question number 56. Natural resources are not important for economic development of a country. Great job. False is the accurate answer. Question number 57. Name the countries in the world that face shortage in freshwater supply. You're right. Both and is the correct answer. Question number 58. The place where both natural vegetation and wildlife both are preserved. You got it. Your choice National Park is right.
Question number 59. The process of piling up of rocks to prevent water flow is called dash.
Smart pick. Rock dam is the correct choice. Question number 60. What are the ways to control water pollution and to help manage water? Correct. Both is the right answer.
Question number 61. Groups of plant communities in area having similar climate conditions.
Solid response. Biomes is a valid choice. Question number 62. What is referred as breaking up and decaying of exposed rocks by the?
Nice work. You chose weathering, and it is correct.
Question number 63. Dash are some of the common methods used to conserve land resources.
Perfect. 4 is the correct choice.
Question number 64. Which of the following determines the thickness of the soil profile?
Excellent. Time is a brilliant choice.
Question number 65. 90% of the total world population resides in dash of the land area.
Exactly. 30% makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 66. Only dash % of fresh water is available and fit for human use.
Good job. Your answer 1 works well here.
Question number 67. Land covers about dash % of total surface area of the Earth.
Correct. 29 is the right answer. Question number 68. Which one of the following is the most important natural resource?
You're right. All of these is the correct answer. Question number 69. Which of the following steps is a major threat to the environment?
On track. Desertification is the correct answer. Question number 70. 90% of the world population occupies only dash of the land area.
Well picked. 30% is the correct answer.
Question number 71. We use land after checking climate soil available of dash etc.
Nice selection. Water is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 72. Mulching of soil can be done using a durable polythene material. You chose true, and it is correct.
Question number 73. It takes hundreds of years to make just 1 centimeter of soil.
Right choice. False is the best answer.
Question number 74. Due to what feature is ocean water unfit for human consumption?
Great thinking. Salinity is the right choice.
Question number 75. Which of the following is not one of the causes of landslides?
Bravo, wind is the answer.
Question number 76. An average urban Indian uses about dash liters of water daily.
Strong choice. 135 is the right answer. Question number 77. Dash % of fresh water appear as ice sheets and glaciers.
Sharp thinking. Sandy is the right choice.
Question number 78. Which state has the largest forest cover in India? Clear logic. Your choice, Madhya Pradesh, is sound and 100% true.
Question number 79. Which one of the following is not a factor of soil formation?
Right again. Soil texture is a valid answer.
Question number 80. Which bird is considered a vital cleanser of the environment?
Smart pick. Vulture is the correct choice.
Question number 81. Which of these countries is mainly covered with forest land? Smart move. Japan is an accurate answer. Question number 82. Which of these physical features are best suited for living?
You got it. Your choice, plains and river valleys, is right.
Question number 83. The grassland of Asia and Africa are overpopulated region. Good thinking. False is the right answer.
Question number 84. When a lot of loose dirt and rocks move rapidly, we call it.
Great job. Landslides is the accurate answer. Question number 85. The zone of Earth's atmosphere where life exists is called.
Correct response. Biosphere is the most accurate answer. Question number 86. Which factor is not responsible for the formation of soil?
Well done. Technology is the right choice.
Question number 87. In which of the following continents is Tanzania situated?
Well reasoned. Africa is the correct choice. Question number 88. Heavy rains cause dashi in mountainous regions every year. Excellent choice. Landslide is the right answer. Question number 89. Mass movement of rocks down the hills could be a sign of.
Nicely done. Landslides is a solid answer. Question number 90. In intercropping method, trees are grown in which manner? Valid point. Alternative manner is true. Question number 91. Which of the following is a method of soil conservation? On track.
All of these is the correct answer.
Question number 92. Dash are made in front of the barriers to collect water.
Well reasoned. Trenches is the correct choice.
Question number 93. The moisture of soil can be retained by the process of. Excellent. Mulching is a brilliant choice.
Question number 94. How many years does it take to make 1 centimeter soil?
Nice work. You chose hundreds of years, and it is correct. Question number 95. The process responsible for soil formation is called. Correct. Weathering is the right answer. Question number 96. Pangi village where landslide occurred is in state of. Smart pick. Himachal Pradesh is the correct choice. Question number 97. Which of the following is used for soil conservation? Good job. Your answer, all of the above, works well here. Question number 98. How much % of Earth's area is occupied by land? Right again. 30% is a valid answer.
Question number 99. Dash affects the rate of humus formation in the soil.
Excellent choice. Both and is the right answer. Question number 100. A dripping tap wastes dash liters of water in a year. Valid point. 200 is true. Question number 101. Reasons for the changes in the land use pattern are. Perfect. Both B and C is the correct choice. Question number 102. Which of the following is used to conserve the soil? Well picked. Mulching is the correct answer. Question number 103. Australia uses its largest portion of its area for. Sharp thinking. Pastures is the right choice.
Question number 104. In which of the following purpose land is not used?
Smart move. Drinking is an accurate answer. Question number 105. What determines the thickness of the soil profile?
Bravo. Time is the answer.
Question number 106. Which of the following determines the use of land?
Right choice. All of them is the best answer.
Question number 107. The growth of vegetation depends primarily on dash. Great thinking. Temperature and moisture is the right choice.
Question number 108. The major factors of soil formation are nature of. Strong choice. Both A and B is the right answer. Question number 109, which is a common method of conservation of land.
Well done. Afforestation is the right choice. Question number 110. What are the major vegetation types of the world? You chose both, and it is correct. Question number 111. Mass movement of rock down a slope is called dash.
Clear logic. Your choice landslide is sound and 100% true.
Question number 112. 7 dash are some of the densely populated regions.
Good thinking. River plains is the right answer. Question number 113. Dash is one of the ways to prevent soil erosion. You're right. Planting trees is the correct answer. Question number 114. What is the majority of land in India used for?
You got it. Your choice cultivation is right. Question number 115. Tropical evergreen forest is also known as dash.
Solid response. Equatorial forest is a valid choice.
Question number 116. What determines the color and texture of soil?
Nicely done. Parents' rocks is a solid answer.
Question number 117. What do you mean by common property resources? Great job. Community land is the accurate answer.
Question number 118. The quality of land differ from place to place.
Exactly. True makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 119. How much time is taken to form 1 cm of soil? Correct response. 100s of year is the most accurate answer. Question number 120. Which of these is example of community land? Nice selection. Sundarban forests is the correct and valid answer. Question number 121. Water is found only in liquid form on Earth.
Solid response. False is a valid choice. Question number 122. What are low-lying areas very susceptible to? Well done. Flooding is the right choice.
Question number 123. Low-lying areas are very susceptible to dash.
Sharp thinking. Flooding is the right choice. Question number 124. The life supporting system is known as dash.
Nice work. You chose biosphere and it is correct.
Question number 125. Water is a vital and dash natural resource.
Right again. Renewable is a valid answer.
Question number 126. Air is renewable or non-renewable resource?
Perfect. Renewable is the correct choice. Question number 127. Polar regions are sparsely populated areas.
Well reasoned. True is the correct choice. Question number 128. Overgrazing is responsible for causing dash.
Right choice. Soil depletion is the best answer. Question number 129. Which is not a major threat to environment? Strong choice. Agriculture is the right answer. Question number 130. Land covers about dash of Earth's surface. Exactly.
30% makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 131. Name an animal who was poached for trade. Good job. Your answer both and works well here. Question number 132. What is not the factor of soil formation? Good thinking. Mulching is the right answer. Question number 133. Where can we find water markets in India? Well picked. Amrele is the correct answer.
Question number 134. Which part of soil is fit for vegetation?
Excellent choice. Topsoil is the right answer.
Question number 135. An example of common property resources?
Great thinking. Land for common usage is the right choice.
Question number 136. The breaking up of rocks is known as dash.
Nicely done. Weathering is a solid answer. Question number 137. Dash vegetation have mosses and lichens.
Valid point. Tundra is true. Question number 138. Which is not an example of groundwater? You're right. Water flowing in rivers is the correct answer. Question number 139. Thorny shrubs and scrubs grow in area of?
Clear logic. Your choice, low rainfall, is sound and 100% true.
Question number 140. What do you understand by the term peaker? Bravo! Community property resource is the answer. Question number 141. River Yamuna is getting polluted due to? Great job. Industrial affluent is the accurate answer. Question number 142. Which is not a sparsely populated area? Correct. Plain is the right answer. Question number 143. Major contaminants of water bodies are? You got it. Your choice, all the above, is right.
Question number 144. Dash affects the thickness of the soil.
Excellent. Time is a brilliant choice.
Question number 145. What factors lead to soil degradation? Smart move. All the above is an accurate answer.
Question number 146. Dash are normally sparsely populated. Smart pick. Thick forests is the correct choice. Question number 147. Private land properties are owned by? On track. Individuals is the correct answer. Question number 148. The lowermost layer of the soil is? You chose parent rock, and it is correct. Question number 149. Community lands are also called as? Correct response. Common property resources is the most accurate answer. Question number 150. What helps to retain soil moisture? Nice selection. Mulching is the correct and valid answer. Question number 151. Cutting down a forest is known as? Well done. Deforestation is the right choice. Question number 152. Which is the famous bird sanctuary? Great thinking. Bharatpur Sanctuary is the right choice. Question number 153. Low-lying areas are susceptible to? Correct response. Water logging is the most accurate answer. Question number 154. 70% of freshwater exists as dash. Smart move. Ice sheets is an accurate answer. Question number 155. Contaminants pollute water with? Strong choice. Both, and is the right answer. Question number 156. The type of soil is determined by?
Bravo, landforms is the answer.
Question number 157. Community land is also known as.
Excellent. Common property resources is a brilliant choice.
Question number 158. Soil erosion can be reduced by.
You're right. Crop management is the correct answer.
Question number 159. There are dash types of land.
Excellent choice. 2 is the right answer. Question number 160. Tanzania is located in dash.
Correct. Africa is the right answer.
Question number 161. Dash contains humus.
Nicely done. Topsoil is a solid answer.
Question number 162. Forests are our dash.
Right choice. Wealth is the best answer.
Question number 163. Soil is made up of.
Great job. Organic materials and AMP. Rocks is the accurate answer.
Question number 164. Wildlife includes.
Good thinking. All of the above is the right answer.
Question number 165. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Right again. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is a valid answer.